Hey guys, this is Nick Billman from Shores of Grace Ministries here in Brazil, and we just finished a trip with Adam Levecki from We See Jesus Ministries and a group that he brought down here to join with us for this last week, going to the streets to minister to the women in prostitution, children living on the streets, and the girls in our rescue homes. And it's just been an awesome week here. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that I've been learning leading a ministry here in Brazil, and a ministry that's kind of on the front lines as far as always out there, always leading people to the streets, always leading people to dark places, and then, how you deal with that. And you have a team, a staff of people, but then every week you also have new visitors who come from all over the world, and then you have the girls in the rescue homes themselves that you've rescued, and then you have your family, and just kind of how you balance all of those things. And I really feel like one of the things that we don't maybe grasp enough is that we have the mind of Christ, that we have been invited on a journey with the Father. Like we as men, like I was just learning this recently, that as men and women, we think so often in arrival, but God thinks in journey. We think in like when I arrive, when I get to this point, when I have this status, or when I like even when you're a kid, it's like when I'm 16 and I can drive, when I'm 18 and I'm an adult, when I get to college, and when I get married, when I have a real job, all those things. We're always thinking of like the next thing, but God, He loves the journey. We read in Genesis that He created us for the journey with Him. He created us for His pleasure. He came to walk with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day. And so oftentimes we're thinking of the arrival, and God's like, whoa, 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 let's slow that up and let's back it up a little bit, because I came for the journey and I don't want to miss any step. Even the difficult ones, I want to take your hand and walk through them with you. And so it's something that we've really been learning here, is like when you're in ministry, and from my position, you're leading a ministry, and on any given week I have 30 or 40 people directly under my care here in Recife, Brazil. And how do I lead them? And how do I make decisions that are right for everybody? And how do I lead people to a place where it could be dangerous for them, not only physically but emotionally, those kind of things? How do I make the decisions that's right for everybody that's under my care? The only way that you can do that is by taking the hand of the Father and going for a walk with Him. And so I believe that oftentimes we in leadership, we sometimes get stuck in prayer mode. And let me explain what I mean by that. I pray, and I fully believe in counsel. I have 5 people that any time that I have a decision to make, I shoot off an email to them and get their opinion. But there are times when I feel like the Father's more just like, my character is inside of you, and you should know my character enough by now to know what the right choice is. You should know my heart enough now to know where I'm leading you. And you should know, the whispers of His voice enough to know where I'm taking you today, or where I'm leading this group, or those kind of things. And so we have to learn to have that intimacy with Him on a daily basis. And if you don't have that, then not only will you fail in your own journey, but you will fail those who are following you. And I believe that we're called, to walk hand in hand with the Father. And in everything that we do, it's to know Him more. Like the Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, lean not on your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge Him. And so how do we acknowledge Him? The word that's used there for acknowledge actually means to know intimately. So it's like in every phase of life, and every step that you take, and every decision that you're making, know God, know your Father, know who He is. And His character and His heart. Like when we train people to go to the streets, I always tell them, if you get a prophetic word, great. But even if you don't, give them something, because you know the character of your Father. So you already know His heart for these women on the streets in prostitution. You already know His heart for these children on the streets. So you actually don't need a prophetic word. If you get one, awesome, go for it. But if not, you know the Father's heart and His character to be able to tell them, this is the way the Father loves you. In all of your ways, acknowledge Him. And when you're leading other people, they look to you, and your gaze needs to be fixed on Jesus. If your eyes are fixed on Jesus, then when people look to your leadership, they will see, oh, look where his eyes are fixed. They're fixed on Jesus. He's not distracted. He's not looking, oh, maybe I need this opinion or that opinion, but he's just looking for Jesus. Like I want to live under, the only expectation that I want to live under is the expectation of His presence. Not any other expectation from men or anything else. I just want to live under the expectation of His presence, that in every place that I go, in everything that I'm doing, and every decision that I'm making, whether it's an extremely practical thing like fixing something here at our missions base, or having a meeting with 2 staff members who are not getting along, or going to the streets to minister to women in prostitution, or going to preach at a conference of 2,000 people. My expectation is you're going to be with me, your presence is going to be there. I'm going to do everything that I can in my power, but then I believe that you're going to do what only you can do. And so when we learn to walk with Him, then others follow us, they follow our example, and then what are we doing? We're replicating ourselves. Instead of others just saying, wow, look how anointed that guy is, and I could never do what he does, people are saying, oh, I can do that. It's simple. It's just taking the Father's hand and walking with Him and going on the journey with the Father and learning to know Him, to intimately know Him in all of our ways and in all of our steps and in all of our journeys and the pathways of life. So I just want to encourage you guys with that today, that as you're going about your journey, which may look different than mine, the Father's reaching out His hand to you and He's saying, let's walk together in this thing. I'm going to teach you how to walk step by step with me through the journey. And I'm going to teach you how to trust me even when others maybe think the decision is wrong, even when others maybe think that that's not the direction you should take. I'm going to teach you how to trust me, and I'm going to teach you how to walk with me. So just encourage you guys with that, and take the Father's hand and go for it.